So normally on a sunny day like today, you can see that for a change it's actually sunny in Manchester, which, I don't know, is probably like an indie band name or something. We are not playing guitar, but instead are breadboarding some stuff, and there is a semi-functional fuzz face circuit, and I can't find the right transistors, sorry, the right resistors. So you can see I've just bodged a load together there, and we've got some neat little Soviet transistors here, which you can probably see. I'm experimenting a little bit with those, which is kind of neat, and a half-broken clone pedal that I was making for a friend of mine, which is also busted. So in all, sort of mixed success today, but you know, mucking around with circuits and coming closer maybe to something that's a bit pleasing to the ear. The more you muck around with classic circuits, the more you realise that a lot of this stuff actually is pretty similar, except for this one actually, which the germanium fuzz face circuit is quite odd because it's all PNP and it's the power supply is inverted basically, which is kind of strange. A lot of the rest of them are just kind of common emitter amplifiers, which is a lot more common and literally straight out of the textbook, so that's a little bit easier to deal with. But anyway, so that's what we're working on today. Wish us luck. So it's the morning after you last saw this circuit. I had to do some thinking last night to debug it because there were still lots of problems with it. And we tracked down that one of the transistors, weirdly, I'm not sure if I might have tried to use this in another project, and I forgot and put it back in my bits box, but one of the transistors wasn't working. Yay! So that's been dealt with, and now we've got some of these sweet Soviet ones in the mix, which is pretty cool, and they seem to be working nicely. But I have now run out of transistors, so I can't add the there's like a silicon post boost thing that I was trying to do, which I can't do now for now. And it's sort of, at the moment, the circuit's somewhere between a fuzz factory and a fuzz face, I suppose. It's like it's got that kind of pre-boost going into double germanium thing going on, and it's more. This is more mid-rangey though, because it wants to cut through a bit more. And the yeah, some of the stuff I still need to tweak. The output capacitor, I'd like to try some more values, and I need to I need to make the gate work better because I've modified that a bit and I've kind of fucked it up. It gates pretty quickly, which is not exactly what I was going for. So and obviously I need to do the boost stage at the end, but I can show you what it sounds like. I've got a guitar here. So you can hear that with the, I mean, it's probably partly because, you know, Jazzmaster's bridges and stuff, the sustain is just absolute whack, even with having switched out the parts. It's not kind of exactly what I would like. Even with like the graph text on there, it could still, let's face it, be a bit better. So it's just chomping off super quick, even though we're using a humbucker. So that's something I need to modify. I mean, to be honest, like a gate is pretty useful for a fuzz. I'm a big fan. I've always used gated fuzzes, but getting the values right in context to the rest of the circuit's pretty tricky. Or at least it's tricky for me. I'm pretty thick, so there's that. So yeah, that's what we're up to right now. So it's morning now. I can't remember the last time I showed what was going on here. Let me see. Morning. neighbour's garden. I can't remember the last time I showed you what was going on here, so I'm not sure what has changed exactly. But this circuit's come on a lot. A lot of things have probably changed regardless. And yeah, look at that. That makes instant sense, doesn't it? But what I think the first one I showed was a sort of fuzz face base circuit, in that there were two germanium PNP transistors in the mix, and this has kind of moved on a little bit. It's got some ideas from the Big Muff and some ideas from the Fuzz Factory and a few other things in the mix. But you see this one here, I have to use my finger to, there we are, that's a Soviet, ex-Soviet whatever, germanium transistor. It's quite a low gain one, and there's actually a silicon one right in under here, like a powerful, more powerful transistor. So that's how the pedal's laid out. I'll show you how it sounds currently. Sorry about this, is room audio, so this is just going through. There's a Hughes and Kettner anniversary tube 20 under the desk. It's a 1x12, and you're probably going to hear some pick noise, so sorry again about that. But so this is it in low gain. With a single coil. Reduce the gain even further, or we can increase it, which is what, you know, sensible people do. Let's turn the gate down a bit and let some more of that through. See, it gets very velcro towards the end of its run there. That's the sound of the germanium transistor. So yeah, that sounds alright. Oh, obviously sounds better with the humbucker to some extent as well, because it's more powerful. Let's just show you that. So that's that, and then when we boost it is when the real fun starts. Let's turn up the gate a bit. You notice that actually it's very quiet, even for, I mean, we're only playing at slightly above room volume, but it's actually relatively quiet with the gate on. So what I find with the Fuzz Factory is that quite often in order to have it playable and not oscillating, but still have a reasonably high gain level, the gate chomps off the notes really quick, and actually, especially in the higher registers, it gates it off pretty quickly. Now this gates it off a little bit less quickly than the Fuzz Factory, so you still get the notes very clearly enunciated, but they get chomped off pretty quickly after that as well. And that is deliberate. This is a fuzz box for playing intricate riffs with, and that's like, a lot of people don't think you can do that with fuzz boxes, and it's complete rubbish. I do it all the time, but you just need to set it up very carefully. This one the idea is you don't have to set it up that carefully. It will just help you through the process of finding that sound you can use for the stuff that you want to. Where you can play that kind of thing and you can pretty clearly pick up the notes from it. So, oh, hang on, broken it. Ah, no. Well, you should be more careful with your breadboard, ladies and gentlemen. Ah. So we've now moved that knob way around to the silicon side. So we're going to get a little bit less of the aggressive gating because it's more powerful and a little bit more high end. You can hear it's taking much longer before it gates now, and that's pretty neat. And also, you know, here that's ringing out much more clearly. There's much more high end in there. There's much more treble response. And the notes are very clearly enunciated, even when we switch to a single coil. We still hear that it's all coming through very clearly, and that's, you know, really the game of this pedal, is to get very clear sounding, clear in the mids fuzz, but something that's not too overwhelming. And I think we're on the path to getting there. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this little sort of demo. And sorry about my sloppy playing. So it's about 2 in the morning and we finished the first build of the solo pedal. I'll in the morning maybe dig over the breadboard and show you what's changed about that. And now it's time to pack up all the orders from the label that I've been neglecting the last couple of days. We've got a couple of nice stacks there of records. This is a lot of fun to do if you enjoy tasks that are simple and manual processes. As you can tell, I'm quite tired, so let's get this done and we can go to bed and draw the enclosure in the morning. So it's a very grey day this morning and we're just drilling the enclosure. We've got just the LED light left to go. Here's the enclosure. It's actually reasonably neat for my first go at it. I normally get them pre-drilled and you need a step drill bit like that. Let's get that in focus. There you are. Which are relatively cheap off the internet, so that's that. And then you need a regular metal drill piece, drill bit, sorry, to do the LED hole. Although I guess you could do it if you had a step drill bit small enough. They don't go small enough on mine to do that, so that's that. So here we've got our water slide transfer for the solo. There we are. Did that on Photoshop, and we've got our freshly drilled enclosure, which hopefully is correct because we've checked each of the components and each of the holes and seen that they kind of fit. We've got a bowl of water and we've got some kitchen towel because we don't know what's going to happen. You want to print off on the kind of chalky-ish, rougher side of this paper. And you want to do it on the quickest print setting so it has the least amount of ink on it. I know that makes it look a little bit dull there, but you're going to have to lacquer it afterwards, and the lacquer will actually bring out the colours, so don't worry about it looking kind of faint. Just crack on with it and worry about that later. Right, let's rock and roll.